Welcome back, peoples. Before you see our video, I just want to go ahead and throw this in for context. You're about to see a podcast, but this is basically our pilot episode. This is our first time doing this. We never done this before. It's basically us discussing about anime, manga, and video games. There's so many titles out there. There's so much stuff that we don't know about, so it's a cool thing because we have interest in those topics, so we'll go ahead and discuss that here. Our likes, dislikes, certain series, what could have been better about certain series, what could they improve on. That's basically what we're going to be doing with our podcast. It's random, but, hopefully y'all enjoy this. So, besides that, what I'm hoping for y'all guys to do, the audience, if you enjoy these videos, please, I would like y'all to comment down below on stuff that y'all like. If it's an anime title, video game title, or a manga title, anything. It could be obscure, it could be something big. If it's something that I know about, I'll add it to a discussion for a future podcast. And if it's something that we don't know anything about, like something that's really obscure, I'll go ahead and look it up and see how it is. Pitch it to my buddies and discuss that in the video also. So that's something just to improve on topics in our future videos and everything. But regardless, hopefully y'all enjoy this. At first it's a little jank, but over time we'll improve. So, trial and error. So other than that, I hope you enjoy our podcast. So.
Like you get your security system and then you start noticing all this shit. I mean, what the fuck?
What the fuck is happening? So, okay, so, it's just whatever. It's when the deal's recording, it doesn't matter. I could take off shit regardless. This is just gonna be a practice thing. It's just you and me. I stupid for me saying that because I'm anxious already and shit. But basically, what we're doing right now is that this is gonna be a little podcast we're doing, a little practice podcast. We might have another person. If he grows up.
Yeah, he wants to show up and stop playing with his girlfriend.
Yeah, but regardless, we don't have a basic title for what we're going to call this. This is just going to be a little fun podcast. I've been trying to want to do this for a while and everything, but, shenanigans happen and stuff. But right now, this is just going to be a little, tutorial, basic.
Yeah.
For shits, I guess.
Yeah, we're just going to test the waters, I guess.
Yeah, so... So basically, a lot of people will be thinking, what are we going to talk about? So usually we'll be talking about mostly what we enjoy, like anime, video games, manga, movies, stuff like that. Whatever's happening, we still don't know what the setup will be with these podcasts. We're just going to go ahead and do, basically, we'll just bring up little things about stuff. Sometimes we might have, subjects, but we're just going to go for the flow, whatever.
Yeah.
So... why don't you go ahead and just let them know who you are and...
Oh, shit. Alright, my name's Jose, and then I hang out with Ryan here. We both share a love for anime and video games and movies and pretty much anything weeb related. And like he said, we try to... we had this idea for a while already, but because of work or whatever, life, we're finally coming. We're finally getting down to it, and then we're just gonna talk about some stuff and criticize stuff. Try to see if we can change some stuff from anime that we didn't like, or we're all, even including the person that's not here today. We all like to play video games, so we can even give our input on that, the newest release of whatever, and then we'll play it and let you know how it is. Maybe it'll help you not to waste your money if you're not into it, or, because...
So basically, you're going to be hearing our thoughts about what these games, movies, whatever. It's going to be it'll be a true, not review, but just our honest thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, opinions are subjective, it's, he might like it, I might not, or vice versa. Same thing with everybody else, but we're just gonna tell you how it is, and then you draw your own conclusions from there, and then
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
So, let's go ahead and get to it. Like, Jose just introduced himself. Me, you might notice me from my last videos and all that. I'm Ryan and everything. I like anime games and all that. I collect games, amiibos, whatever I can. Uh, Video game finds and stuff like that. But other than that, I try to do Let's Plays and stuff. But, you know, like he was saying, life, work, all that, it's a little difficult to do a lot of that stuff. That's why I haven't been on here that much. But hopefully that'll change soon enough. Hopefully we'll have more added content with this little podcast thing we're setting up. But like we were saying, we don't know how this is going to go, so this is just a little fun course right here. So let's just go ahead and start. Like, I guess the first thing we can talk about, like, um, what what you recently doing playing right now? Like, is there anything recently you're playing right now?
Well, no, not. I mean, I have. Right now, I'm still playing that Borderlands 2, and it's just one because I got the I guess the Game of the Year edition, and it comes with all DLC, so that makes it long. I had already beaten it, but then trying out the harder difficulties, and then because as you progress, the harder it gets, the better loot you get, and then so I'm trying to see what I can do with that, but no, not really. Other than that, no, because I don't know. All the games that I wanted to buy, they have them on the Xbox, on the what's it called,
Game Pass?
the Game Pass. Like the Outer Worlds is on there. I wanted to get that new Halo. Well, it's basically all the Halos, but for PC. But they're gonna have it on there as well. So.
Oh, I got a question for you. How do you play your games? Do you do it on console or you do it on PC?
Oh,
what you
okay.
doing right now?
So I have an Xbox. The thing special, the first model. And then in March I built my first PC. I wanted to do it for a while, but right now I'm leaning more towards the PC because just because it's an upgrade from consoles. I mean, it's nothing too great, and then my rig's decent. It's not a really high end system or whatever, but you can tell the difference from console to it, and I like that, and it's there's always mods, vortex and stuff that you get mod, and even if you play like the old games, you can you're playing Fallout New Vegas and you make it look like a freaking 2018 game,
Yeah.
just with the graphics.
So, as of, like, say, going on now, do you see yourself doing more PC type gaming? Like, instead of doing console, you think you're going to be getting them on PC more because of the expansion of stuff you could do with certain games?
Yeah, I'll probably. I mean, if like you get like third party games where like it's like Halo. I mean, like Call of Duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's a shooter, and shooters play better on a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody's gonna agree to that, and then so I'll get into it. But now, if we have like an Xbox exclusive, which I don't think. I mean, it's still Microsoft, so they might still have it for Windows 10. So I mean, that goes in. But my girlfriend, she has a PS4, so that's probably where I'm gonna be playing like the Last of Us 2. What else coming out?
PlayStation. Oh, the new games. Last of Us 2. There's Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7.
There's a lot of them. For some reason, I can't think of them right now. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, so like in case y'all don't know, for me, I'm not much of a PC type of gamer. I don't know much about that. I've been usually sticking with consoles. One of my reasons why I'm always sticking with consoles because like I like collecting games and stuff. Like you can't see on this side, I have all my PlayStation stuff right here. But the thing is that I enjoy collecting for video games, and I don't really sell them or nothing, but I just keep them for later use. I mean, that's usually how I've been since I was a kid. But it feels like lately, like going on the years and years and stuff, it seems like we might start going to the point to where everything's gonna be digital, which I don't really like, but it feels like it's gonna go that way eventually. But you know, we had to change, so maybe eventually I'll get into it. One of the cool things I found out, thanks to him telling me more about the PC stuff, is like the mods and everything. Um, I've been noticing stuff like I'll be on YouTube and stuff, and I'll be seeing like recently, I didn't really think about it, but like say certain games on the PC, like say the old Final Fantasy VII. You know how that looked. That game came out in '97, and with the PC release that came out years ago, whatever, or like it it's not set on how it looks. You could mod it, and modding, if y'all know what that means, that's basically just upgrading the internal features of a game. Like if y'all all remember what Final Fantasy looks like, there are like polygons and everything. You can actually change them to look more like anime looking, or just like a real person instead of little chibi polygons and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I've been noticing that there's websites that are dedicated to letting you download these certain mods and stuff, which I don't know much about, but over time I might end up doing that eventually. But I mean, it takes time and everything. I'm still gonna be a console gamer because I enjoy the PlayStation. Like I'm a PlayStation 2 dude and everything and stuff like that, and it'll just take time. So he's been giving me some pointers about setting up a PC and everything. I mean, I have my own little tower right here, and I could use that as like a tutorial-based type of machine if I want to upgrade and stuff. But I mean, it's cool because there's a lot of possibilities, and it's also a good way to get cheap games. Even though the digital, you have like Steam and all that too, and everything. They have some amazing sales and all that too. So yeah, just possibilities are crazy with that. Regardless, it's something that I'll probably get into in the future. Future, I guess. But other than that, let's see what else is there. Right now, for what I'm doing, I'm playing. Right now, I'm playing on the PlayStation 4. I'm playing Tales of Berseria. I am trying to beat that game as much as I can. Freaking right now, I sound like 80% to the end. It feels like I'm getting close to the end because they introduced supposedly the final person I have to fight, maybe. But I'm trying to get through there. It's just that I haven't been able to play for the past couple of days because of work and stuff. But hopefully later on, maybe later on tonight, I'll get into it, try to drag through it and stuff. I really enjoy it and everything. Out of all the Tales games, like if you don't know what Tales is, it's Tales of. Basically, the series is Tales of. And there's like Berseria, Zestiria, all of them. It goes back into the late 80s, early 90s. It's a Japanese RPG type game. Yeah, it's basically like Final Fantasy, but more of an action-driven RPG, which is pretty cool. Much I can say is that this version right here, because I haven't played that many of them. This is my second Tales game, but this one's pretty. I don't like to say the word, but it's pretty dark. Like it's really like it's not really child friendly or nothing. I mean, it is child friendly. How should I put it? It's just adult themes, basically. Like because like a JRPG, you go on an adventure and stuff. There's some elements in there where there's killing and stuff, and a lot of it's towards like. It feels like this is the first one that I noticed that they're really trying to kill like kids or something. It's crazy, but yeah, it's graphic and stuff a little bit, but I really enjoy it. I'm getting into it, and hopefully I'll be able to beat that game because the next game I want to try out is Death Stranding. I have that already in my collection. I'm looking forward to playing that once I finish the Tales game, and I don't know. As of right now, Death Stranding's been out for a while already. For a good like a week or two. Not a while, for like 2 weeks already. Yeah, and it has a big amount of controversy. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much you got half the. You got half the. I guess like the people that played it saying that it's a good game, that it's it's got an interesting story and it does because I mean you watch the trailers and what's the first thing you think? What the hell's going on? I mean, it's something crazy and.
Sorry to stop you, but just to let you know, if you haven't played Death Stranding, we're not going to put no spoilers. we don't really know much about the game
Yeah,
besides the trailers.
we haven't played it.
You know, because I don't know anything about it either. Because I'm looking forward to doing it when I do my Let's Play of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to point that out in case anyone doesn't want to hear that. But.
So pretty much that's just the thing. You got some people praising the story, the visuals, the how the game is constructed. Basically, you know how it plays well. It doesn't glitch. It doesn't. You know, and then but then you have the other side of people saying that it's just it's boring. You know, they're saying that it's a walking simulator that you do. That's essentially what you do for long periods of time, just delivering packages, and then you have to travel all the way back. And then again, back and forth, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's the main gripe. Same thing with the story. That I mean, it's Kojima. You know,
Kojima has some elaborate stories. I mean, if you look back at his Metal Gear games and then to his more previous, like later works, back when his beginning, there's like Snatcher, Police Knots. He goes deep on the stories.
It's you know, it's well, that's what like I said, I haven't played the game. You know, but that's what I've heard though. And then so it's got everybody divided basically on it. So some people were giving it good rating, good reviews, you know, and some were they weren't so kind to it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then but the thing is, I guess what set it off, I guess that's the cherry on top, you could say, was when he went on Twitter. But I mean, he tweets in Japanese, you know, so whoever translated, you always do some context, you know, when you're translating stuff. You're not gonna get the full meaning behind what he said, but basically what some people were saying was that um, it did bad here in the U.S. because you know this side, you know, the West, we lean more towards shooter games, you know, Call of Duty, Borderlands, freaking what else? You know, any type of shooter out there. So that's what he didn't flat out. I don't think he flat out said that, you know, that we're gone crazy or whatever, and that's all we care about. Because I mean, you have all these other games that have done well. You got like The Witcher. You know, it's I don't know if you guys ever played that one. It's more of a fantasy type, you know, sword, hack and slash, magic, RPG. You got the Final Fantasies. You got I mean, ever since you know, 2000 and early 2000s, it was always a thing. I mean, and it's not a first person shooter. It's not a military. You know.
Yeah, I was looking into I was seeing what the graphics were and everything. Yeah, I see why a lot of people are mad about the game and stuff. Like I said, I don't know nothing about it just from what the trailers show, but a lot of people are saying it's a walking simulator and stuff and things like that. It's just weird because, you know, it's, how should I put it? Like, you know, I've been seeing all these articles about Kojima saying that, oh, we're too dumb to understand this game or whatever. That's one of the big takeaways from what's going on. But again, you're talking about Kojima, a guy that's from Japan who speaks Japanese, who doesn't have the, you know, English dialect or nothing. So someone translates, and whoever translated, regardless, you could be a good translator, it could still fall off, you know, deaf ears in what they're translating and stuff. Like, it's true. A lot of people, like, if you think about it right now, a lot of people are into shooting games. You know, like Fortnite's a big craze and all that. Apex and all that. It's just shooters and stuff, and it's real simple combat. I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad about that. There's nothing wrong with that. For me, I do like shooters. It's just that I don't really play those type of games that much often. I mean, you know, it's not something that I do. You know, like say like the Call of Duties and all that. A lot of people go for those because multiplayer and stuff, and you know, online fighting and stuff, shooting and stuff. For me, like if I ever go to Call of Duty games or anything like that, it'll be just for I want to try the campaign, the story, because I'm usually more into story-driven games and stuff. That's why, like, one of my favorite things is the JRPG stuff, you know, RPGs and all that. So I enjoy story-driven games. Could be bad, could be good. It doesn't matter. It's just what I feel about it. Usually, I don't go for what people think about certain games. If I find it enjoyable, I'll try it and see how that goes. But yeah, freaking. You have all these people talking about Kojima saying that, oh, it's not like, these people don't understand. And I mean, if that's what he was trying to portray, saying, then yeah, I mean, it's a it's criticism. He's just criticizing some stuff, but a lot of people are attacking him over this game and everything. I just find it crazy though, because I mean, he's just a person who's creating something that he wants.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are taking it in a crazy way. I mean, it's he or she, whoever wants to say anything. I mean, everyone has their opinions about stuff, and for me, I'm just like, just let him do his thing. I mean, because besides that, they're there's also a lot of other things they say, like, oh, he's a real person to work with. He's just using people. He's using his like connections and everything. I mean, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, because we don't know if it's true. I mean, see, like, everyone thinks it's true. It could be true, but we don't know for sure. I mean, it's not, because he's just using what he can to make something that he loves. That's how he's been throughout his whole career. Freaking, like, he's been having a tough make. Like, the whole thing went crazy with the whole Konami situation where he couldn't even finish Metal Gear 5. And, over time, it just blew up. He left that place. He ended up making his own studio. He decided to do Death Stranding as his first outdoor game from Konami, and that's all it is. Regardless, I mean, if people want to say stuff, let them say stuff. It doesn't matter. It's just don't try to prevent
other people
enjoying something. That's basically it. But
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just their opinion,
Yeah.
So.
So like the game's been out for already a couple weeks now, and people are still talking, whatever. I mean, yeah, opinions, whatever, but just get over it. I mean, everyone probably already beat the game many times. I mean, because right now, like, I go online and like another person says, "Oh, this is amazing." Like, I don't know if people are tripping about this is an amazing game and stuff, stuff like that. But usually people are just trying to make attraction because it's a big ticket item to talk about and try to get the crazy stuff going on. But regardless, for me, Death Stranding it looks like an amazing deep game, crazy looking game, and I'm really looking forward to getting to it still, regardless of all the situations happening. But that's Death Stranding right there. So let's see.
You heard about that announcement with Resident Evil 3, the remake?
I've been hearing a lot of rumors that it's coming out
Next year,
2020, Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh shit!
Freaking, I'm looking forward to that. Now, if you don't know, Resident Evil 2 remake came out this year. Amazing game, freaking phenomenal. It was insane. I freaking played that. I played it 4 times, back to back, because for that game. Endings. Yeah, because for that game, you have to do it 4 times. For like Leon's scenario and then Claire's scenario. Back up. Like, if you don't know, just check out at the main menu. Say if you have the game, go to the main menu. It'll show the little, I guess, checklist. I call it checklist. It shows like Leon and Claire A and B scenarios and stuff like that. But it's a phenomenal game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome, and it's just crazy because when that game came out earlier this year, we were thinking, like, the game came out, we beat it and everything cool, but what's next? What's Capcom gonna do with Resident Evil? Because Resident Evil 2, it was Resident Evil 2 remake. It was a remake game that's been in development for a while now. We haven't heard nothing until probably a few months before the release date, because they finally showed the trailer, like, I think it was the year before it got released. It showed it at E3 or something, or whatever. Yeah. So we didn't see nothing. We knew it's been in development for years, but yeah, it's cool. But what's neat about it is that what's next? Like, it wasn't a main title or nothing. Previously, before Resident Evil 2 remake, there was what? Was it 7? Was that 7. The last thing?
Yes, with those.
So what are we expecting? Are we expecting Resident Evil 8? Or we're expecting another remake? Or what? Because people don't know. There's still a lot of Resident Evil loose end, like games that are loose ends. Like, like right now we have the main series, Resident Evil 8. We have the remake series, which feels like they're trying to explore and enhance the lore, because we have so much lore from all the games. That's what they're probably doing. And I don't mind that. I'm looking forward to see if they do something like that to where they just kind of soft reboot it and continue on with this new stuff, how it's going, which is pretty cool. But besides that, we also have like the Revelation series, which there's still a lot of loose ends there. They're like it's been a long time since I played it, but there's some characters that were in that game that just disappeared. So are they gonna still be around? Besides that, we have Resident Evil 7, which introduced a whole new a new character and stuff, and a new type of
new game type too. I mean, it was a first person shooter.
Yeah, it was a new way. Is that going to continue? But besides that, there's also for the mainline games, Resident Evil 6. Like, what's happening with that? Like, cause like Jake and all that from Wesker's son and everything. Like, they kind of interluded something with him after you beat the game with him and everything, which is crazy. But there's still a lot of possibilities of games. I'm getting off subject here, but there's a game called Resident Evil Umbrella Corps. It was a really bad game that I never played it, but basically it's like a online shooter game, like team-based game and stuff. One crazy thing is that it lined up with the lore of Resident Evil. So I don't know if this is actually canon or not, like if it's in the base story, but there's a certain character in that game that gives you, like, I guess just basically he's watching you do your stuff throughout the game. And the weird thing is, it reminds you of Wesker. So like, it sounds like Wesker and stuff like that. And if you don't know, I mean, spoilers, back in Resident Evil 5, Wesker supposedly dies in a volcano or some shit. So, yeah, so Wesker's dead in the main timeline, or the main lore line right now. But for some reason, Umbrella Corps, it kind of seems like he's alive. I mean, we don't see him, we just hear a voice, and it sounds like Wesker. And if you follow the storyline, or like the lore of the Resident Evil, there's a lot of whole thing about mind manipulation stuff, or like cloning. Because one of the big things is like Revelations 2 Resident Evil, that introduced Wesker's sister, and it introduced a whole thing of putting your mind into another body. So there could be a possibility that Wesker could come back for future games or something as a mind swap, or just be reborn as a different character or clone or something. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there for another possibility in future stuff. But regardless, going back to the whole remake of Resident Evil 3, I got so sidelined with that. I'm looking forward to it because it was teased in the Resident Evil 2 game, the remake version.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Because if you haven't played Resident Evil 2, you need to go play it, the remake version. There's a part where you're in the police station, and it doesn't explain anything, but you're going up the stairs, you go into one area of the hallway, and then you see just a wall smashed. And then you just see more smashed walls going through to another area of the room, you start at the right wing of the room, and then you have to go to the left wing of the room. And what's crazy is that you just see a big demolish of walls. What happened there? There's nothing there to do that. Mr. X, basically the big bad guy that's in there, he hasn't even popped up yet. So what caused that? Why? Because all you have is zombies and lickers and the whole RE2 lore. But you just have to remember, in the timeline and the lore, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 takes place at the same time. Maybe hours overlapping, more or less. So, like for me, because I know the lore, I was thinking, okay, Resident Evil 2, I'm Leon or Claire in the police station, you see this, and like, what the heck's going on? What's this? I'll be thinking, wait a minute. In Resident Evil 3, you play as Jill, and she goes through the police stations, and what happens in the police station? Nemesis, he goes and he tries to attack her, he tries to kill her at the police station. What this tells me is that Jill was already at the police station before Leon's events happened. Yeah. So that big wall, the destruction of the wall and everything, that could have been hints of Nemesis going through there trying to attack Jill. And that's just my theory and everything, but I can't recall But I remember back when this was first brought up, like the producers or the creators, they were like hinting, "Oh, who could have done this whole smash wall bit right here?" You know, implying that it could have been Nemesis. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, you never know. It could be a whole big thing, and not. We'll find out eventually. But yeah, 2020 release. If we do get information, I'm hoping it is going to be from the Video Game Awards that comes on December, like December 10th.
Yeah, before the year.
So that'd be cool. Freaking, we might get a teaser December 10th at the Video Game Awards. If it is, it's in the beginning of December, if I recall. But that'd be cool. Still staying with the topic of Resident Evil. How about that? There is another Resident Evil game called the Resident Evil Resistance. Have you heard of that one?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's is it co-op?
It's a
It's a co-op.
it's a team-based game.
Team-based
I don't
game.
know. I think it's called Resident Evil Resistance
Or Survivors or something.
It's
I think it's
Resistance.
something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, it looks like I don't know what genre, a tower defense game or something. Like you're basically you're a group of regular people. You have a antagonist who puts traps and zombies and stuff and try to prevent you from leaving this building or something. That's my take for it. But yeah, I mean,
Resistance.
what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, at first, like earlier when you mentioned Umbrella Corp. I mean, yeah. I mean, I played the game a little bit, because my friend had it, but we gave up on it because it just didn't feel like it's basically like if you're playing a third.
It didn't feel like Resident Evil.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like it. You had the sound. You might have the zombies. You might have the creatures, but it just didn't feel like it.
Because you're going from a whole completely different genre.
Yeah, you're not survival horror anymore. You're it's like an action game. I mean, it's like 5 and 6, but on steroids. Like it just completely got rid of all the horror aspect of it.
So I'm wondering, what is Resident Evil now as of today? Like the whole action survival that was implemented in Resident Evil 4 because Leon. That's when they decided to get rid of tank controls and the third person view and more, shooting. That's where the more action oriented came from. Then we went to 5 where it doubled up on that and then introduced co-op play, which honestly. I didn't have a bad problem doing co-op in Resident Evil 5 because when I did it, I was playing at that when it came out back in 2005 or 6?
Which one?
5.
No, 2010.
2010?
Yeah, 9, 10, something like that.
Well, when that game came out, I played it with my uncle, and so I never had I had an actual person being my co-op partner. And we went through the whole game. We beat it after a couple of days, which was pretty cool. But looking back at it, I did go back to it just to play around with, say, the PS4 version of stuff. But I don't know. Because I was wondering, it's weird because, you have a computer person just, doing the thing yourself. Because I didn't have my partner at all this time around. But, yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
I mean, I had a better experience. I never really experienced it because I just played it a little bit with without a person manning the second control. But I got better experience with the Revelation series because you do have a partner in those. Or was it Revelations 2? I think. I don't know. I can't remember now, but my take is I prefer partner's cool, but I prefer to just be alone. You don't have to worry about someone. I mean, if there's going to be a segment where there's a partner, let it be a segment. But
that
my opinion.
That takes away from it. But the co-op itself, it was fun. They did it good, I guess, in my opinion. But and co-op was the way to go because I remember back when it first came out, one of my friends he kept complaining how the AI, like he'll pick you're Chris by default, right? Like the AI controlling Shiva, it was just retarded.
Yeah.
Waste ammo, she'll keep getting herself killed. stuff like that. So it makes makes the game non-enjoyable. So when you're playing with somebody right from the start, it's better.
Yeah,
well,
see,
at least back
because
then.
I never experienced that, like, as my first playthrough, because that's why I enjoyed Resident Evil 5. I enjoyed it, but I had someone to play with me day one. So my thoughts are a little bit different, especially now afterwards. I can understand because, yeah, you're right about the AI is kind of weird and stuff, but...
yeah, or, she'll use what they call meth pack spray.
Yeah.
When you didn't even need it, it's just, and you wasted
Yeah.
But,
no.
But the thing, it was good though. I mean, I liked it. And then, six is that, I'm a fanboy, so I like six. I was like,
I enjoyed 6, and yeah, you did have your, like, 6 was, I did play by myself on 6, because you can do co-op on that one, right? 2 players, right? Because, like, Leon and Helena.
Leon, yeah. And then Jake.
6 was my introduction of playing the game by myself without a second player, now that you mentioned it. But, I enjoyed myself playing it. I mean, I enjoyed Resident Evil 6 in general. I enjoyed that game. Because I remember I was playing it real late at night and stuff, and it was cool. There was a point when I was playing Resident Evil 6, it was Leon's campaign. I was at the very end where you're on the train. For some reason, I got the blue screen. I was like, what the hell? What happened? So I was like, okay, I'll just restart it. Blue screen again in the same spot, because there's a point at the end of the game where you get on the train and you're fighting the last guy. But for some reason, it'll stop, like, look, the cutscene will stop and it'll hit a blue screen. I was freaking out because, like, it was like 4 in the morning. I had to go to work in like 4 hours, and I was like, man, what is going on with this? So I had to get my phone at the time and see what's going on, saying, is there something wrong with my system or whatever? And I noticed that there was a lot of other people having that same problem. They said that you just are going to have to reset I don't know, I guess reset the hard. You have to reset something. I can't remember the details, but just reset it, re-upload it into your system, and then hopefully it'll work. So I did that, and it worked. So it kind of freaked me out, but that was one of the scary parts when I was playing it. But regardless, I really enjoyed that game. A lot of people are giving it hell because it's really action-oriented. A lot of people just say they enjoyed Leon's scenario because that was like true Resident Evil.
Yeah, because it
was the zombie survival, all that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, in the end, I enjoyed it. If anything from the Resident Evil games going from like 4, 5, 6, all of them, I hate when you get to segments where you can't control the outcome. Like, let's see, I'm trying to think. Like Resident Evil 5, there's a segment in the beginning of the game where you get on a truck and it becomes a rail shooter.
Oh, okay.
I think it does the same. Like, there's for some reason, like that in quick time events. Like, I was so mad during Resident Evil 4 when it was doing the Krauser fight. It was all quick time events, and I mean, like it was okay the first time, but like, say if you want to go ahead and try to do a no kill run or something, and you're expecting it, but you accidentally jack up and like, like, I don't really care for those that much. I prefer to let it just, let me play as I can. But, yeah, I just don't like those segments that much. It really takes away, because I remember in 5 where you're just shooting the enemies of the truck, and then at the end of that segment, you're parked, and you have the El Gigante characters.
Yeah.
You have to shoot them, and then all these other guys come out, and, like, the only difference is, depending on like normal, hard, or extreme, whatever difficulty you have, it just affects how many monsters, how much damage they do to you. Yeah. And I don't know, I just didn't like that part that much. But it goes with Resident Evil 6 too, because there's like the running scenes and the chase scenes. I mean, it's cool, but I prefer to let me have control of the environment. So.
I mean, it had some good stuff that worked. They had some stuff that. Like one of the things that worked was that, I don't know what it's called, but it's that they implemented something where no matter how many times you play the game, you'll never play it twice. Like, the different types of enemies would respawn. Like, I mean, you have like the regular, like with Leon's scenario, you have the regular zombies, but then you have like, what was it, the Bloodshot, the one that had all the spikes.
Oh, yeah.
and then or you had like the really big one, the really big fat zombie.
It's like
dogs and stuff.
what's it called? I don't know the term, but it's like a rogue type situation where you start the game, instead of him being in the same area, he's doing something different.
Or he won't be there at all. Like I remember one time I died to one of those bloodshots. I was like, okay, so I died, and then I reloaded the game, came back, and I didn't. I got like something else, like either dogs or something. I don't know what the hell
Yeah, because like it's a set path. Like let's say linear. You died from this enemy, and you'll be thinking, okay, I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna go back. I'm prepared for that fool that tried to kill me. You go to that point, he's not even there. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
And then something else comes out.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, you'll never. Well, for one party, you won't get the complete same experience every time.
Yeah, it's it's different every time. Which is pretty
So
cool.
you might get gangbanged by freaking 4 bloodshots, or whatever, or a couple liquors, and you're like, well, shit, but it is what it is. So that was pretty cool. I like the character designs, the monsters that were interesting. The one you fight in the plane. I thought that was pretty cool. How you're in the plane and then you crash.
Yeah.
You know.
Freaking, it's crazy. I like what they're doing with like the monsters and stuff because I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of cut enemies from the Resident Evil series.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because we're talking like I guess our topic is Resident Evil right now, but yeah, like say Resident Evil, there's a lot of cut enemies. And I saw like I used to have the Resident Evil archive books, and they showed these like these enemies that were just cut, because it wouldn't work with the system or whatever. But they had some terrifying enemies on there. Like there was like say like the Bloodshots. I don't know what they're actually called, but in Resident Evil 6, you have a zombie. Well, because of his level of the T virus or whatever virus he had, the mutation grown, he becomes more bulkier, and he has like he becomes like a walkable liquor kind of.
Yeah.
With the agility and fight strength and stuff. But that's pretty cool. They got like I recall that in the cut content they had like the idea was they wanted superior zombies or like proto tyrants or something. So it's not a tyrant because that's a completely different type of deal, but it's a zombie whose mutation evolved. Say you get bit, you become a zombie. Well, there's a point to where whatever happened, the mutation evolved, and he gets bigger, stronger, and everything. And that's a terrifying thing. Just imagine like you're in Raccoon City, and then you see this regular zombie like, say when they introduced the Bloodshot in Resident Evil 6, you have that asshole who, abusive relationship, jumps out the car and like, I'm gonna kill this zombie, boom, but then he sheds its skin and just kills him.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Imagine walking into like hundreds of them all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool how they show enemies like that, and it would be cool if they do that with other, with the newer games and stuff like that, or like introduce stuff like that. But I don't know. But what else? Sticking with the Resident Evil theme and stuff, we kind of got off topic talking about that again. It's Resistance. It's from what I recall, it's just like a survival type game, but with a group of nobodies. When I first heard about it, I was really stoked about it. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be cool because how can this be? But when I started seeing gameplay and like the idea of what it is, I kind of lost interest with it. I mean, it's not really usually something I do, but because Resident Evil games, I do enjoy Resident Evil games regardless. But this one, it doesn't seem like my cup of tea because it's just like a survival. Like it reminds me of like those gacha games or whatever. Like they make this just to try to make more money. They threw this out just to make more money because all they did was with this game was they basically just went to Resident Evil 2 Remake, grabbed a lot of ideas, and brought it into this. Because if you look at the Tyrant, the zombies, it's all the same stuff from 2.
Yeah.
Which, it's cool, it's just, I wish, instead of doing this, they should have just made a different scenario. Like, instead of having this as a crazy guy, a French guy, whatever, doing these traps, just have a story made, like, say like the Ghost Survivors, that was with Resident Evil 2.
Uh-huh.
They should have done something like that, but made it into more like how they try to get out or something like that, instead of just doing this weird, leveling up, trying to get to different areas type of thing. So, Resident Evil Resistance, not really my cup of tea. Don't really care for it. I was hoping for it to be the whole, like, say, Outbreak thing, because now Resident Evil Outbreak that came out back in like 2002, 2001. It was a long time ago. Resident Evil Outbreak 1 and 2. Those were some amazing games, but it was before its time. Like, it was really, because you need an internet connection back then. That was basically, you didn't have that back then. To like say right now, this is a good time to bring that back because you have connect, like, you know, the internet's good. You have the software that could do it. Just remake Outbreak, or just use that concept with something new. Because when you saw Resistance for the first time, you see these random characters. We think, oh, these are just regular people from Raccoon City, not a freaking super soldier or like a BSH or anything like that. Not a STARS member, just regular people. And I thought that would make cool, but I mean, still a possibility for future games and stuff.
I mean, right now they're looking at the whole remaking, and they're doing good, like I said, you know, but they gotta, because I mean, I remember I saw this thing that said it was Capcom's what do they call it? Capcom's not a comeback, but like
it was big. There was a time where Capcom was making bad decisions.
Yeah.
And they were. I mean, they, like, Capcom as a company, they were doing bad from like 2000, like say 2010 to 2015 or whatever. They were doing bad things because, like, they were just not. They were dropping the ball. They have all these cool IPs, all these freaking titles. Like, you know, Capcom has the Street Fighter titles. The, like, say fighting games in general. They got Street Fighter, Darkstalkers. Rival Schools, all these games that just came out once or whatever, a few times, and that's it. The Mega Man series, they really crashed and burned with that. They had Mega Man Legends 3. They had that going, and they decided to cut it off, which pissed me off because I love the Legends series. I was looking forward to playing Legends 3, but they cut it off, and you know, there's a lot of different stuff in there and everything, but they're kind of getting back to, you know, with Resident Evil 2, like say the Monster Hunter game. Devil May Cry 5 was amazing. Besides that, like, you know, you're seeing that they're making more, you know, they're trying to please the fans with stuff. Hopefully they'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I remember now they call it Capcom's Redemption.
Redemption arc.
Redemption arc.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's true shit.
I mean, because what's cool is that, like, right now they're gonna, like, they're doing like collections too, like they're like the Zero series, Mega Man Zero. That was a Game Boy Advance. It's a DS games. They're gonna have that release on the Switch, all titles and stuff, and that's something cool. I'm looking forward to getting that when it comes out sometime next year. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how, like, you know, you have all these cool games, but they don't want to make them. It makes me bring up Konami now, because Konami, I don't know if they're really into games anymore, because it seems like they just want to do pachinko slots. And if you don't know what pachinko slots, it's like a gacha game or like a gambling game in Japan where you just, it's like slots basically. But what's crazy about pachinko is that instead of making game like Metal Gear or the Castlevania and stuff, what pissed a lot of people off is that we see this new, like say Metal Gear 3. Metal Gear Snake Eater. I thought we were going to get a remake for the PS4 because they show cutscenes. PS4 cutscenes of games, the cutscenes from the game. Like, what is this? Are they going to remake it? And then you learn that, oh, it's a pachinko slot game. So basically, you have this basic, what did I say it was called?
Like slot machine?
Right. I just said it too. Slot machine, yeah, slot machine. Yeah, basically, you have this Metal Gear themed pachinko slot machine where you see these amazing cutscenes, and they put that in a pachinko slot game and not an actual video game, which is crazy. So I thought that was crazy because they did that with Metal Gear, they did the Castlevania, a lot of other stuff. And Konami has some crazy games. I mean, they have a lot of cool classic and new games that they're probably not even gonna mess with that much.
No, I mean, they're probably killing it on the.
They're making a lot of money with the pachinko slots. That's why they're still doing it. But
it's like freaking EA too, where I mean, why come up with like a new IP or remake something that they had from back in the day when they can just, you know, they got their microtransaction now. and they're just killing it. And like, especially with like the sports games, people are still buying them, man. You can tell them. I mean, no matter. I mean, in my perspective, they're buying the same game, man, every year. But then you could say the same thing about Call of Duty or other games, but you implement new stuff, and this one is exactly the same. Freaking, you might have like a new mode, but that's it, man. And then or like the jerseys change a little bit.
It's
But
like a good example is like the Madden games.
yeah,
They're kind of like
Madden, FIFA, But the thing is that is that is that you got all these people. It's basically freaking gambling, man. They're making a killing of microtransactions. Where I would understand if it was like, okay, we're gonna give you the same game year after year, but so you pay your $60, and then that's it. Maybe a thing here and there, but that's it. Man.
Well, like I said, the NBA, you have your $50, $60 game, then you have the collectors, which is $70, $80, but then you have the ultimate thing that's like $100, gold plated and shit, and I'm like, what?
Now you figure with that, let's say you go for like that ultimate version, right? You're like, okay, well, I'm paying for the super deluxe, so I'm gonna get everything that's in the game, everything, just everything, right? No, you buy that and they're still coming up with other stuff.
They'll be like, see, like, I never really experienced microtransactions until like my first start with microtransaction in games was like just the cheap cell phone games because at the time there wasn't really much on consoles like like what I would be playing that have microtransactions, but I know it's like when I play these little dumb games on my phone, oh continue, go ahead and buy this crystal and you'll give you more time or whatever. I'm like whatever. My first experience in consoles were what the hell was it? Thing I just had in my head. What was it? Like oh, okay, yeah. I got my stuff right. Okay, so it's not micro. It's the seasons pass.
Oh, okay.
You know those things. That's like microtransactions kind of too. But you buy this game. Oh, we're gonna add more stuff to this game, so you want the season pass. That's been going on for a long time, and I never got into it. The first time I got to it was Final Fantasy 15, because I've been looking forward to this game for years. Finally comes out, I'm gonna get the season pass because they said there's gonna be episodes of like the characters and stuff and all that, and I was like, cool. So I get Final Fantasy 15. I played it. I platinum it. Like regardless of what y'all think, I love that game. I enjoyed that game. I put so much time in it. I did everything. I platinum it. It was amazing. And then that after a few months after they started introducing the episode Gladio, episode Ignis, those things. But then there's a lot of controversy that they dropped the ball. They end up not making certain stuff, and I'm like, what the hell? And then eventually, what the hell? They end up doing the Final Fantasy Royal Edition, or like it's a new edition that came out a couple of months ago, and I already spent like $90 on the collector's edition. I got the steel case version because that's what I do with my Final Fantasy games. Every one I try to get the steel case, whatever, which is cool. So I'm gonna do the same thing with 7, kind of. I'm not gonna go all out and get the $190 with the cloud figurine thing. I just want to get the collector's edition, whatever. But yeah, I did that. And what's annoying though is that like I don't think it's Final Fantasy in general. I think it also did it with like certain other games because I think the only season pass I ever bought was Final Fantasy 15 and the Dragon Ball Fighters games, just for the characters. And I realized that you want this other content? It's season 2, the second season. So besides putting $90 on a game, putting $20 on the season pass, you gotta put another, for that, and that's annoying. Like I don't like that. I like to get the full game. But I mean, that's my extent to it.
You remember, right now that you mentioned Dragon Ball Fighters, remember back? I don't know if you ever played. What was it? It was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Budokai. I think it was part 2, where you had that little. It was like a little mini game where you would combine certain things. I forgot what it was. It was so long ago. But that's how you get characters. You get Kid Goku. You'll get basically you'll be fusing stuff,
Oh,
and then you get and that's how you got the characters, and that was badass.
wasn't there? What was that? Are you talking about the DS game, or are you talking about?
No, I had it on. Well, I had it on PS2.
PS2? Okay, then. Yeah, Tinker. Yeah, because I like like aspects in games. I like how you got. I don't like how they put like a wall in front of you, like like say Street Fighter. Um, it has all the characters, but you can't play them because there's like rules. Like I can understand like I can't give it like Mortal Kombat or something. Like I can understand beat the game and then you get these other characters through story mode or something. But I don't like how you have to pay this or whatever. Just let us get it throughout the normal gameplay or like a little like I can understand a little grinding. Like Mortal Kombat had that crypt or whatever, and you had to grind to get stuff, which is cool. But they made it real like they had this. There was this one YouTuber who calculated how long it'll take to get certain stuff for this character, and it said you have to play. I think it was Star Wars or something, the Battlefront or whatever.
Okay.
Like they were calculating, like you had to play this many hours just to get like this Darth Vader character and shit, and like.
It's something unrealistic.
Because, like, for me, it's unrealistic. Like, doing something like that. Because for me, I love grinding. That's what I do on my RPG games. I love level grinding. I'll be OP'd and shit, kind of. I mean, I don't know, bad decisions or something. But when it's something like that, like, you have to go out your way to try to get a character that should already be in the game or something. Yeah. That sucks.
You're right, man.
I hate that.
I mean, look, right now when you were mentioning like the I guess like the season passes or DLC that you've bought, I'm trying to think back. Like the only season pass that I bought, like I guess ever since they came out, would be the Witcher 3. Yeah, that was probably the only one, man. Anything else, it's either a game that's already being out, and then I end up getting like the game of the year, and then it already comes with it. I don't know if that counts, but as far as me having like the base game and then getting the season pass, but I mean, look at it this way: with The Witcher 3, I don't know if you guys ever played that. Probably not, right? But I mean, okay, so right off the bat, you get add-ons, right? And they give them to you for free. You get like 15 add-ons, different armors, different animations, different costumes or whatever. You get missions, a couple quests, things like that, man, for free, right? Right off the bat, you get them for free. You can just go and download them. Now with the season pass, they give you 2 expansions, which on their own, it's not something that you feel like they just cut out of the game and they sold you to differently. It's just something entirely.
It's like you're saying that this new story they have.
Yeah, different.
It's a whole new story. It doesn't feel like it was just cut from the main game just to make extra money. They literally put care into making this new story for you to have for the season pass and all that.
So but the first one that you get, I mean, it takes place in the same map, right? Same region. So you're like, okay, maybe that one feels like they could have left in the game, but it's just a whole different. It's just a whole different story. You're trying to find something else, and then I mean, you can go back and forth, between doing that and the main quest.
To give the viewers out there a better example, think of Monster Hunter right now. Iceborne. Yeah. That's a new That's basically what he's trying to talk about The Witcher. Yeah, just to give y'all an idea of what he's trying to say for an older game.
Yeah. And then you get to the other one, which is Blood and Wine, and then you're in another city, another place with I don't know if recurring characters, or whatever, but like I said, different story, different quests. They give you new stuff. Now you start going into mutations with and it's just that's them doing it right.
If you talk about The Witcher, all of a sudden, what's the CyberTech right there?
CyberPunk.
Well, the people who created The Witcher are making a new game called CyberPunk, which is freaking crazy looking and stuff. And I'm just bringing this up because it's a good segue for Witcher and everything. Because a lot of people are thinking there's a point in the game of Witcher 3 is you have the character
Siri.
I don't know if I should say. Oh, I mean spoiler. I don't know if it's spoiler. I mean it depends on what we say, but Witcher 3, um, Siri disappears. Like I forgot the details, but she disappears because they're trying to kill her or something. She goes into a when Gerard I can't pronounce his name now. When Gerald, yeah, Gerald, I can't pronounce his name. When he comes and finds her again, she tells them that yeah, she was in this crazy new area, like, and she mentions that there's flying things. Like you be thinking, okay, if she's seeing flying vehicles and shit, like she's in a new dimension, new area. Like where the hell did she go? A lot of people are speculating that she went into the world of cyberpunk because there's flying stuff and there's a lot of cool things. Like they're saying that maybe whenever cyberpunk comes out, we might see Siri, that character, in cyberpunk in that time, world. But I mean, I think they kind of debunked it with it, but it was just weird. I guess it was like an Easter egg or something because that was really elaborate in Witcher 3 games, saying that flying vehicles and shit like that, and the main characters just say that's ridiculous, you're crazy, whatever. But seeing Cyberpunk coming out and seeing how it looks and everything, you never know. There might be an Easter egg about The Witcher on there. You might do see Siri, but not as a big.
Oh yeah,
it's because it seems like it was gonna. It seems like it was a good idea at the time, like, Siri's gonna be a big character in this Cyberpunk game, but I think over time they decided, you know what, we'll just do a little reference, so we probably will see her, but it won't be nothing much more. But, yeah, like, going into Cyberpunk, though, that's another big game coming out in 2020. I forgot what the actual, is it 2020 or at the end of this year?
2020. Next year,
yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy game right there, freaking. The last big hoorah that came out of that day was Keanu Reeves was going to be in it. And I like how it is. Cyberpunk as a game looked pretty cool because, like we were saying, it's a big open world RPG type game. It's like a shooter. Yeah, it's a shooter, kind of. What's cool about it is that it goes back to what you were talking about, how it's not linear. Like, it's an open type world where, like, say that you're doing something, you don't like the outcome, you want to just, like, forget this, I'm going to start over or whatever, like, game over, or start over, redo, whatever. The events don't happen the same way. That's like, it's like that too with the certain details of the game. Besides that, it's really big on that concept because, say like you have your best friend, he's with you. I don't know what the details are, but I think you could go through the whole game with him by your side. Well, there's a possible. It showed in the trailers that what might happen because I don't know the details of the game. I haven't been following it, but that same character you could have probably throughout the whole game. You could probably mess up at the beginning, and he could die, and that could change the whole aspect of the game. And there's no redos in that. You just have to keep on going.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool because it's limitless replay value. Like, say that, no, I don't want him to die. I like him. I'm going to go ahead and just reset my save or something, But the thing is, even though you have the knowledge of what's going on at that moment, it can still shift and change. It's not going to exactly go on. So the idea is that you want to try to prevent him dying in a different, like, he could probably die still in the same area, but in a different situation. So it's really cool how deep that game got into stuff. But that's a cool game I'm looking forward to. And that game had a lot of controversy too, because I don't know if you know much about it, but a lot of people are talking about like how it's portraying characters and stuff, which it's stupid. I think all this is stupid. It's just like, okay, one crazy thing is the whole female male thing. I mean, they didn't do nothing. There's the character select screen. You can be a female or male, whoever. All they did was you have the character select screen. You have the male and female deal. Instead of having separate boxes, they just basically took that away. Male, it doesn't even show male and female. Pick what you want. So basically, they didn't take nothing out of the segment. It's just took a wording out. So, just to be open, because, a lot of people portray themselves, am I male, female, whatever. It's a touchy topic, but I saw what they're doing. I said, okay, that's cool. So, they won't have, people won't feel alienated about it. You could be a guy who's a woman or a girl who's a guy, because this helped. I could segue into this. A big controversy was this promotional art of a female. Female, she's like just posing, like it could be with like clothing or whatever. But the main thing is, it's a female, but you can see that she's also a male because she's wearing a tight, what's it called? A tight dress, basically, a leotard. But you can see that obviously she looks like a male too because, I don't want to say it or not, but she has junk, basically. And it protrudes out of the suit. So that was the controversy was there. They're saying, why are they showing this and stuff like that? And I was saying, I mean, that's really crazy, but isn't that just not alienating no one? Like, because those people exist and everything, so you just have all these crazy people, just, not crazy people, just these people who have their morals need to be in check and everything. Not going into that detail, but it's just funny because another thing is, I guess there's a part in the game where there's Haitians. I think that's what they're called, Haitians or whatever. I don't know much about it, but the thing is that there's this group of enemies or like this gang. They're Haitians, and they have their language and everything and stuff, and they like a lot of people are complaining that they treated them like animals. And the creator and all that, we're saying that's not true. We're creating them as, as a positive outlook, whatever, because the person that created that story detail about these Haitians is Haitian himself, if I recall. He knows about he's part of that community and stuff, whatever. And it's just funny because you have this person who knows a lot about it, a good way, and not trying to cause stir, but these other people who are really emotional inclined talking smack about it. It's crazy because we saw both sides of the road. I saw people pissed off. Why are you making these people all crazy, saying this stuff and being animals? What was cool is that they had a video interview with an actual fanboy who's a Haitian, and he did not see anything racist or anything about it. He was happy that his community, his language, because they'll speak the language in the game, and you have subtitles. And for me, that's cool. I can understand it, but for him, he can see what it says, but he understands what they're saying. And he was real happy, and he was hugging the producer or the person that did it and say, "Thank you." I feel like it really put me into the game seeing that because you're trying to expand what everyone thoughts about this game is. Like putting these certain types of characters and stuff, and it's cool. It's just nowadays, I think regardless if you get intentions, bad intentions, whatever, it's gonna have a negative impact on someone regardless. Because we're going through a time where people are getting more sensitive. People are not solid like how they used to be back in the day. I mean, like say I'm going off topic, but like the Disney stuff. Disney, Disney Plus. Now the Disney streaming service. There's a lot of controversy with that because they're bringing up these old shows like Cinderella, the Aristocats, Lady and the Tramp, put disclaimers saying that this was fine back in the day, but it wasn't fine, but a disclaimer saying that there's depictions of whatever, like Dumbo, Lady and Tramp, like Lady and the Tramp, they had to sign these cats. And that was racist, because, whatever. They still showed it on the deal, which is no problem because you want to see the original format, but they put a disclaimer. Like, it's just crazy. Like, okay, yeah, that's bad. Moral compass, that's bad, but that's just, you can't, that existed. And nowadays, you really can't do that because you're going to offend people. So it's just crazy. It feels like people get more sensitive about things. That what makes, like, say, comedians bad, too. because they're trying to make a joke out of something, but saying the wrong word or something to a certain group of people at a wrong day could ruin your career. But I don't know. I just brought that up because it feels like a lot of it's happening with anime.
Yeah.
Because you have like the whole controversy with Funimation and stuff. There's you have these voice actors who purposely change Japanese lines to fit their own agenda about women empowerment and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that don't change what the original creators had for your own agenda. That's my point. I want to enjoy what the original creators wanted, but y'all are changing stuff for your own benefit. But that's that right there. But regardless, Cyberpunk 2029 looks pretty amazing. Other than that, what else is there? Is there anything else you want to talk about for the moment?
I mean, we got a lot of, but we'll be going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, there could be multiple stuff. I mean, I think this is a good little. This is good enough for now. I mean, this was just a little. What's it called? Pilot. Let's call it a pilot.
There you go.
We'll just see how this goes, see how it goes and everything and stuff like that. But yeah, those are basically. Hopefully, we'll get better at this. Regardless, But this is basically what we're gonna be doing. Podcast. We're just gonna get into stuff like how we just did today.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a bunch of people just talking about
just talking, venting, having fun.
I mean, and that's anybody can relate. That it's always fun to discuss stuff that you like with people that have your same interests. And, we just pick apart stuff and we pick it apart and talk about stuff that we like, that we don't like.
Just our thoughts about the situation. Like today, it was mostly Resident Evil or video game stuff. Next time we get together, we could probably be talking about anime or manga or whatever.
We'll try to keep to a subject, so it won't be so scattershot.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep to the subject.
We'll try to keep on a subject, but you never know. We're not professionals here.
No, but I mean, then you got so much to talk about, I mean, right now, just in this hour, we could have gone so many routes.
We could have done a lot. We could have just talked about we could have just gone through the whole spectrum of we instead of sticking to gaming, we could have just went straight to. We kind of did when I mentioned anime and stuff with certain topics, but you never know. But if you enjoy anime, video games, manga, entertainment forms of our geekdom and stuff, come check this out. We don't have an established plan, so we'll just upload where we have a chance and see how it goes. Maybe next time we'll have another person here, giving his thoughts about a certain thing, because it's besides we have different knowledges. I have my knowledge of certain games. He has his knowledge. The third supposedly person, he's younger than all of us, and he does more stuff of online shooters and stuff, which I don't know nothing about. He could give his
Battle Royale,
Fortnite and all that.
He can give us that side of the spectrum,
just trying to see what's what. But regardless, I guess we'll go ahead and put this into an end. I hope y'all enjoyed this. We'll see what we can do for future stuff. Like always, my name's Ryan. We have
Jose.
And we see y'all next time, peoples. Take care.